What's up, everyone? It's Wacka. Welcome you to week 3 of PWO season 16. This week we're up against Acid, who has a very a team. Not to say it's a bad team. It's just I don't know how to describe it really. It's just kind of I guess maybe like a balanced team, maybe. We have Jynx in the lead, and then also Alamamola and a Tinkaton defensive core with Crobat, who could also be defensive because I have Mega Beedrill, Cyclizar to keep hazards off, and a Typhlosion Hisui. So prepping for this game was a little bit rough. I kind of thought my builds were a bit very basic. Now, like, I feel like a lot of my sets were just very, like, showdown-esque sets. We have a pretty standard offensive Spiker Shocks with Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Earth Power, and Spikes. And we're trying to outspeed Jynx. Our Hatterene set is Cassiberry. Probably the only interesting item I feel like I ran this week. But yeah, Cassiberry in case I have to take a hit from Typhlosion. Also running the Mystical Fire, Calm Mind, Psychic Noise, and Draining Kiss. Iron Jugulis, we have the Booster Energy this week. And the plan is to chip Tinkaton a little tiny bit and Charge Beam and hope that we get a +1 boost with Charge Beam and then kill it with Earth Power, and then we should be able to sweep with it if I can position Jug in safely and work around other items such as like AV Aloe. I'm also running the Dark Pulse, Earth Power, Charge Beam. What was my last move? Might have been Hurricane. I don't exactly know what it was. It might. I don't remember. So obviously I didn't really click it. Our Blastoise is specially defensive this week. Not AV. As much as I wanted to run AV, I also want to get a Toxic off on the Aloe if I had to. So yeah, I'm running Toxic, Scald, Flip Turn, and Rapid Spin. It is my Typhlosion check with leftovers. So assuming he can Flamethrower, I get back a turn of leftovers, and then he switches out, I get back another turn of leftovers. So I can stay pretty healthy throughout the game and not lose too much momentum, again with having Flip Turn. My next mon is Chestnut, which is very physically defensive, running the Body Press, Seed Bomb, Knockoff, and Synthesis. So it's basically meant to deal with... Actually, none of the mons that he brought were for Chestnut. So he had Brute Bonnet on his team. He didn't bring Brute Bonnet. He also had Palma on his team, which is scary, and again, he didn't bring it. Which is weird, because I think Palma would have been really good against me, but I guess he didn't know how to slot it. I guess he could have slotted over Jynx, but we'll see what the Jynx is very soon. And then, yeah, Knockoff on Chestnut is pretty good because Typhlosion can't just switch in for free, and then I can also knock off what I expected to be like a physically defensive Helmet Crobat. Or like somewhat bulky, maybe speedy, for Jug, potentially. And then our last mon is Caparaja. We are running the Expert Belt with Heavy Slam, Heat Crash, Earthquake, and Power Whip. Also running Heavy Metal because there's no reason for me to run Sheer Force, so I might as well run Heavy Metal. So getting things started, I'm going to lead with Caparaja. As he leads Jynx, he's going to Lovely Kiss, which actually lands, unfortunately. I know it is 75% accurate. I thought when he clicked that it was like 55% accurate, which is crazy, but no, apparently it's 75% accurate, so it's the same as Sleep Powder. I'm going to be asleep when Typhlosion comes in, unfortunately. It's going to Flame Charge crit my Blastoise. Doesn't really matter too much. As he goes Hard Aloe on my Scald. I'm going to do about 5%. I do get the burn, unfortunately. It's something I probably should have considered before I clicked Scald. I probably should have clicked Toxic first, but I guess we live with what we have to live with now. And based off the damage, this Aloe is very specially defensive AV. So I'm doing no damage to it, but at least I know it's not Wish-Teched Fish. And it will get worn down eventually. I get another crit. And again, his crit didn't matter because I got back to full health with lefties. He's going to bring Tinkaton in on my Hatterene as I now go into Caparaja on a Stealth Rock. He's going to go Typhlosion. I'm not going to wake up, which is sad because I totally clicked Earthquake here. I don't know why I said it so sarcastically. Like, I literally clicked Earthquake here. But, yeah, unfortunately, yeah, Typhlosion switches in. Free Flamethrower will take me down a little bit, but again, I'm just going to spin. I know that he's not Helmet on Aloe, and I can flip turn out, get a little bit of chip, and bring in Chestnut. Decided to bring in Chestnut because I figured I might as well punish it with Helmet a little bit if it's just going to flip turn. It's going to bring him back in Typhlosion. Again, I'm just not really scared right now because Toyce is looking pretty good. Flamethrower gets the burn though, unfortunately, so my leftovers is no longer keeping me healthy. I'm going to get a flip turn off on the Crobat, which does nothing, and I'm going to find out he's Helmet. I probably should have considered him being Helmet because I do have Mega Beedrill. I don't think he needed Helmet. I think Helmet is kind of overkill, but I guess supposedly he can like switch in on Beedrill and then like slow U-turn out on it, so I guess that was his plan to keep up momentum, but again, I didn't bring Beedrill, so it didn't really occur to me. I'm gonna get up a Spike on his Protect. I have no idea why he protected, but he's actually gonna stay in on the Volt Switch. I guess supposedly because I feel like he doesn't really need Crobat in this matchup. So I'm gonna bring in Caparaja on his U-turn, and he's gonna bring in Typhlosion Hisui. I am gonna see that it's Boots, which is nice for me to know. I do know, obviously, he's not choice locked because he clipped Flame Charge and then Flamethrower. But it's good to know. Shadow Ball doesn't do too much to me, and I'm going to be able to take one more, potentially. He's not going to risk it, and I'm just going to kill Crobat with the Blastoise. As now, he's going to go into Cyclizar. I guess he wants to spin, yeah, so he's going to spin. I'm going to get off a Toxic, and at this point, I believe Cyclizar is going to knock me out with Spin. I could have went into Chestnut, but I didn't really want to risk him clicking U-turn. I guess if he clicked U-turn on Chestnut, I could have just went back in the Blastoise and sacked it. But I also didn't really want to sack on a Flame Charge in case he was like Calm Mind Typhlosion, so I just wanted to make sure my positioning was kind of favorable. So he's going to U-turn into Tinkaton. I just wanted to chip down this Tinkaton with Mystical Fire, so that's the only reason I really sent in Hat there. I'm going to find out he's very specially defensive, which is not that much of a shock, but it's kind of annoying that like Leftovers is healing it back up quite a bit. I'm going to EQ on the Aloe, and because he's not physically defensive, and I know he's AV, I know that I can kill it with Power Whip, so he's going to Icy Wind, and Power Whip will be enough to knock out the Aloe. Thankfully, Aloe goes down, which means he can't Mirror Coat my Sandy Shocks, which is very nice. I'm going to sack my Hatterene now. I'm going to assume he's not going to Calm Mind, but he has to be a bit careful with Hat, I think. He's going to Flame Charge. Kind of sucks that I didn't get knocked out there, but I did get some chip, thankfully, on Typhlosion, and Flame Charge will knock me out. But pretty much at this point, Typhlosion gets knocked out by anything I do. I'm going to bring in Sandy Shocks because I can live every hit. Unless he crits me with Flamethrower, which I don't... I'm just going to assume it won't happen because I didn't want to risk Jug. It was either Jug gets crit or Sandy gets crit and I lose, but I guess he didn't want to risk it that way. But yeah, Earth Power is going to do quite a lot to Cyclizar. I think that... I don't know what the Cyclizar is, actually. I am not calcing currently. I don't think I really bothered to calc the Cyclizar. He's going to take a lot from Helmet as well as Poison, and he's going to go hard Tinkaton. I decided to click Knockoff here. I could have clicked Synthesis potentially, but I figured getting an item off of if he wanted to go Typhlosion, that it would have been good for me because, again, my stabs don't really hit it. I'm going to Synthesis. Honestly, I kind of regret it because I hard consider clicking Knockoff again. If not, I also could have clicked Body Press and chipped it down a little bit, but I don't think it matters too much if I chip Jynx. He will kill me with Ice Beam. I think I had a chance to live that, but I have no idea if he was like modest. But I was kind of starting to think he was Scarf. I'm gonna Heavy Slam. He brings back in Typhlosion, which will threaten me. Again, Sandy Shocks will be able to take a hit from Typhlosion, a Flamethrower into a hit as well. And Earth Power will narrowly knock out Cyclozar because Toxic will actually knock it out, which means Blastoise gets the KO there. He will Lovely Kiss my Shocks. So yeah, this is when I figured out he was Scarf. Scarf Lovely Kiss, crazy set by the way. He's going to bring in Typhlosion, but I figured since he was locked in the Lovely Kiss and Sleep Claws was going to activate, that this was just my opportunity to just switch into Jugulis now. Quark Drive Speed will knock out Typhlosion, and I believe Jynx has a chance to live this. However, I get the roll in my... Probably, I don't know if this is my favorite, but I get the roll to kill it. And down goes Jynx. And that'll be the end of the game. So yeah, GG's to Acid. I'm not sure exactly if I could have ended this game sooner. I think I was a little bit scared with Rocks up that Jug might die to a hit. But I was booster speed, so I was always going to outspeed Jynx. And it's just kind of a matter of whether or not I killed it or not. And I also didn't really want to mess with Typhlosion, especially when it was at +2 at that one point. And then yeah, Charge Beam +1 special attack would have pretty much won me the game pretty much as soon as Aloe went down. But it was kind of hard to bring in Chug Jug there. But we kept a lot of pressure with Shocks and Caparajah, and I think that's kind of what mattered. And I knew that Hatterene and Chestnut were kind of not the best in this matchup anyways, so I could have sacked them whenever. Blastoise getting burned was probably the worst part, but it wasn't that bad, honestly. So yeah, again, GG's to Acid. Hopefully you can win next week. I don't know if you have a win under your belt yet. You might have... Did you beat Caden last week? I don't know. I don't remember, but we are now 2-1. I believe we are +7. Yeah, 2-1 +7 is kind of crazy, but I guess that's what happens when you get reverse swept week 1. But yeah, next week I believe we're facing Tiger, who does have decent experience from what I've seen. Wait, are we facing Tiger or am I facing Howl? I think I'm facing Tiger. I believe his team has, let me check. Oop, that was a spoiler. Hopefully no one cares that I showed that. Yeah, it must have been Tiger, because of course you have an Arcanine. Scene 2. Yeah, so he has the Arcanine, Hisui, Starmie, Breloom, Stunfisk, Goodra, Alcremie, Mega Glalie, Sableye. You got Mega, Castform, and Varoom. Yeah, so he has Varoom, and he's used Varoom and Castform, so I do have to prep for those and hopefully not lose to those. But yeah, he has a decent team. I love his top 3 especially, as well as Goodra, like kind of rounding out that fire, water, grass type core that he's got going on. Pretty good offensively as well. So yeah, pretty solid team. And I will see you guys next week. Thank you guys for watching.